Hi, everybody. So we have Kristine Aksnes, or Anne. We call her Anne. Yes. So Anne is going to be a speaker for the Happy and Healthy 2020 conference, which is happening on the Leap Day. My hair is a bit on the Leap Day, 29th of February. Anne, tell us, what are you going to talk about?
Well, I'm going to share on a crazy interesting topic, which is the new generation growing up with all the technology. And the topic will be on how to raise healthy, happy, and positive children in a negative world under the circumstances that we are under now. So, yeah, I just love that.
Why do you want to talk about this? How is this, why is this an important topic for you?
Well, a few years ago, I came across this survey saying that mental illness, depression, suicide, and suicide attempts had like exploded, not only in Norway, but all over the world in the age group of 13 to 18. And since I was working in a kindergarten, I was working with teens and youth on the side, I was like really intrigued and scared because that's actually terrible. The fact that children get depressed at the age of like now it's down to 6, 7, 8 years old and actually chooses to end their lives. It's like, no,
Wow.
no, no, that's wrong. And all these parents and families who go through so much pain, and some of them didn't even see it coming. And and society is like, what do we do? What's causing this? And so a part of me, I've always been like this kind of person who says, why? Why does things happen? Why? Wanted to understand like the human psyche, why we do the things we do, why I do the things I do.
Yeah.
And so I started studying it and reading about it and discovered, well, a lot of things. But one of them, the major things, is technology. This time age that we are living in now, where we have an entire generation growing up in a way that they've never ever grown up before. Can you imagine? You get a cell phone in your hand when you're like 6 months old, and you have all this stimulation and all this. You have the entire world.
Tablets. The tablets have been given
Yeah,
as babies to
yeah,
watch, and the tablets become babysitters now.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
they do.
Mm-hmm.
And what science shows is that a child's brain is not ready for that kind of stimulus, and
Mm-hmm.
so it creates addiction. That is like a side issue because growing up like that, comparing yourself with everyone else around you and seeing how everyone else has their lives perfectly out there is, I can't imagine what it would be like if I grew up like that, always feeling that I wasn't enough, always comparing myself with others, always seeing that someone else did better and was more. And it's also about the pressure, like everyone has to be a certain way because of the globalization
Mm-hmm.
and how everything is going to be universal, everything is global. So even if you're in Africa, you know how it is to live in the United States and you want that kind of house and that kind of. So it's no longer uh, the normal culture and traditions that we had before. Like, I'm from Romania, I'm from India, I'm from Norway. Now it's like it's global, and so
So
it's
you
it's just
think,
messing things up. Yeah.
is globalization not good then?
It is. It's very good. I like it. I love to travel. I love to meet people from all over the world. But I think we need, I know we need some different tools when it comes to raising our kids compared to what I did when I raised my kids. Because my kids are now 17, 19, and 21.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have those kind of apps and cell phones and technology when they were small. So I can see that what's needed today in order to build healthy and confident and happy kids, positive kids, also, is very different from what was needed when my own kids grew up. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of my topic.
Mm-hmm. But what is the most negative impact of technology? What are we talking about? We're talking about cyberbullying, right?
Yeah.
And certain cases of cyberbullying has become so bad that it has led to suicide cases amongst
Oh,
teenagers.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
And then now you have mentioned about this imperfect world, or trying to measure up or
Mm.
live your life like like as if it's out of some magazine, right? That's the other thing. And the other thing is also about looking good. I mean, body shaming, cyberbullying. Well, cyberbullying is not about body shaming alone. It pertains to a lot of things. But body shaming, trying to being insulted probably online for the way you look, for the way you act.
Yeah.
That's also very, very prevalent these days.
Mm, it is.
So what other impacts are we talking about other than what we've mentioned? Is there anything else? Like what are the negative impacts that we are really dealing with here
Well,
on children?
out of danger of offending anyone,
Mm-hmm.
I would say that our society, or it starts becoming very shallow.
Yeah.
Uh, and the moment we only live for ourselves, for the money, for the bigger house, for the bigger car, we start feeling empty on the inside. I can remember I read a book called Man's Search for Meaning by a guy named Viktor Frankl. It just turned my life upside down because he talks about actually about depressions, about suicide, about having a meaning with your life. And it doesn't have to be like a big thing. We don't have to rescue the world in order to have a meaning. It's enough to just have another person to live for, that you want to help, that you want to do something for. And I
Mm.
can see that in today's society, with unfortunately, with the media, with everything that's being pushed onto us, we're being conditioned into thinking that we will be happy if we have a bigger house, a newer car, a better looking body, if we have success in so and so. And the truth is, it's actually a lie. We're being deceived, but we
Mm.
don't know it. So the moment, there was a guy who told me, one of my mentors said that if you realize before the age of 50 that there is more to life than money and success, then you are amongst a tiny group and you're very, very lucky.
Mm.
Because most people, they will turn 50, 60 or 70, maybe 80 before they realize that what they have been striving for and working for and getting all along brings nothing. It's kind of empty. Of course we need money in order to
Yeah.
pay for everything and to have a certain lifestyle. I'm not saying that we shouldn't want the success and being well off when it comes to finances, but if we think that happiness is at the end of that path, then we're wrong, actually.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's one of the bigger things when it comes to the internet, media, social medias, and everything. We get deceived into thinking that is all about these outer things when it's
Yeah.
actually.
Mm-hmm. So if you have kids, what would be your number one tip for a parent against social media and internet?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't give them access to social media until they were 13. There is a reason for the
13.
there is a
13 years.
well, have you never considered why there is an age limit on Facebook?
No, I don't know. What is the age limit on Facebook?
13.
13. Okay.
Do you know why?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of harm, obviously, on
Yeah,
Facebook.
it's because the no, it's actually it's because the brain, there are some things in the brain that are not yet matured
Right.
until they're 13. So when it comes to all the dopamine and the endorphins and all this stuff with creates addictions, a child's brain is not. It's not like I. Mm, I said something and then I thought it was too harsh that I couldn't say it. Right? I said, "Did you know that your child will be addicted to the phone?"
Mm.
And then I was like, no, 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 you can't say that. People will be offended. You would have used the phone yourself with your kids very small now. But then I was like, hang on a minute. It doesn't make it less true. Because if you give your cell phone, your smartphone to a 1 year, 2 year old kid, then you will notice that they just want it. And if you take it away, they will cry, they will want it more and more. And it's not the same feeling as we would have if people take the phone away from us. We would be maybe we'd be sad, maybe we'd be like, oh,
Fine,
I
I'll
would
go
like.
home. I'll get a
But
tablet instead. No, just kidding.
yeah, you go. But for a kid, it's actually, they are addicted because the brain isn't ready. It's not matured. It hasn't been gotten the connections necessary to kind of stay the way. So I realized that, hang on, I should tell people the truth. not saying that they are doing a terrible job, because they are not. Parents are parents, but just to give them the awareness of trying to choose something else, because there is a big difference actually between TV and cell phone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yeah, so if you need for your child to be activated, because to be honest, I did so when my kids came home from the kindergarten. I came home from work and I was really tired. I wanted to cook, or I wanted to just sit down for a little while. I put something on the TV
Yeah.
for them. So I can't say that I would have not used the phone if I was 20 years old and a mum today. Probably
Yeah.
because it's about awareness. But then I think if parents are aware of the damage and
What is the
what,
difference, and what is the difference?
yeah, well, I don't know. It was this huge study in Canada, and they said that a child shouldn't uh, hold anything handhold. They until, well, phones and stuff they should wait with, but not anything until the age of 4, because of the maturing and the developing in the brain. And I'm like, well, I'm not a scientist, I'm not, but I do trust those who don't have any agenda,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of those who do studies and surveys, they have an agenda. But when someone like the World Health Organization comes in, or someone like a uh, big company with no agenda, they
Mm-hmm.
make a study and they quality safety it and they like tests it. When they come out and say something, I think that okay, we should actually listen, and not beat ourselves up if we are tired and our kid is crying and we're like, oh, I just need some peace here. That's okay. But I think we should be aware of what it's doing with our children, especially now that mental illness, depression, suicides is actually becoming a huge problem.
Yeah.
And it's the parents who has to kind of put the limits down. But of course, you can't take something away from them without giving them something else.
Mm.
So you would either have to sit down with them, play with them, give them some kind of activities, Play-Doh,
A book.
drawing, pencils. Well, yeah, if they're big enough, a book.
Yeah.
But remember that if they have used the phone for a while, or the tablet, or your computer, it will be hard for them in the beginning,
Yeah.
because everything else will be boring, because they've been very, very stimulated. There's been high action all the time and they are just used to consuming. So for them to actually use their brain to create something, to become creative again, will be quite hard, and they will not be, I don't think they will be like overjoyed in the beginning. But I think it's important they say that in order for children to succeed, the next generation to succeed when it comes to work and stuff, there are two abilities they will have to have. One is creativity,
Yep.
and the other is the ability to adapt to changes.
Mm.
Because artificial intelligence is here to stay, and so many of the regular jobs are being replaced by robots, by technology, by computers. Just see now, we're going out shopping.
Yeah.
Soon there won't be anyone to pay to, because everything's gonna be coming. But and also when you go to Heathrow, for example, to deliver your luggage,
Mm-hmm.
you do everything yourself.
I mean, it's in Gardermoen too. I mean, you deliver everything yourself,
Yep.
so there's no connection. So which is why I really love certain airlines who do not use the machine. So if I can just say so, I'm just gonna give a big shout out. Qatar Airways. My clients was trying to go on there, and we were looking at the machine. They're not on the machine. You have to talk to a person, and you have to line up and speak to one on one, which is actually good. And also, actually, right now, I mean, this one-on-one interface, talking to a person, is becoming like a very expensive feature.
Yep.
Like it's becoming very special now to be able
Yep.
to speak to someone. It's becoming like something really really valuable or special. It's like a new experience. Like you have to pay for it. We need to wrap up soon.
Yeah.
But Anne, why don't you tell everyone who are you and what do you do and why are you speaking at the conference?
Well, as you said, I'm Anne Aksnes, and I'm a parenting coach. I've been working in, well, I'm a kindergarten teacher by profession. I was working as a leader of departments for more than 12 years. I have 3 kids. The oldest one, she will be 22 this summer. And I've always been very fascinated and interested in children's development, and I've taken a lot of courses on trauma, communication, leadership, and stuff, and also on parenting styles, which is really, really interesting. I've studied a bit of psychology, and basically it's just my passion. I really love to understand and to help, and I've been working with parents, with families and children, teens and young adults for 20 years. So
Tell us
that's a
about
very short one.
yeah. Tell us about
Yeah.
the program that you're working on right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm creating an online program for parents. The plan is to launch it on the 28th of February. It will be week by week. I'm gonna coach, teach, or actually just share life with parents, sharing from my techniques, from my experience, from what I've learned over these years, because I have done so many mistakes that it's crazy. And I've learned from those mistakes, and I'm like, you don't have to do the same mistakes as me, and you don't have to struggle, you don't have to have problems with boundaries and rules and kids talking back to you. And to be a parent is hard work, but it can be so easy and beautiful and fun and amazing. It's just a wonderful journey. So I want to help parents all over the world have an easier life, to enjoy more, and to also build a really good, healthy, psychological immune defense in the children, if you can put it like that. I want them to have resilient children who can grow up and actually be able to face everything that they will meet, because the world today is a lot of things coming towards them. And I want for the parents to help the children to live life to the max and to have a good life. Yeah.
So basically, Anne wants to empower other parents, and she wants to empower other children as well. So on that note, we say thank you so much. And then I see everybody on the 29th of February, Klingenberg, Oslo.
Yeah,
Klingenberg,
it's really good.
Kino or Cinema in Oslo.
It's going to be good.
It's going to
Okay.
be good. See you. Bye.
Bye.